Welcome everyone to my latest Bandai Tomodachi Nation's SH Figuarts review, as I have the Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan Son Gohan, this time titled The Fighter Who Surpassed Goku. So as the name suggests, it is another Teen Gohan in the Cell saga. And if you've collected the Dragon Ball line in the past, you'll know that this is not the first Teen Gohan we have. They've released a few, but this one's going to feel slightly different, a more modernized version with some new features. Either way, it's going to be highly anticipated every time they release like a new version of Teen Gohan. His fight with Cell is one of the more iconic ones in the series. Now, right off the bat, during the review, I'm not going to act surprised that they haven't included any Super Saiyan 2 head sculpt. If you've seen the promo photos, you'll know that it will not include one. This is solely based on his earlier fight with Cell. So starting off with the packaging, really nice. We have some hints of purple to match the theme of his attire. And at the front, a cool shot of Gohan, of course, with the full Piccolo clothings. And if you're used to the SHF line, nothing new here. Really well presented once again with the logos and stickers. And once again, that title, The Fighter Who Surpassed Goku. Really cool name for marketing purposes. It's on the side as well. And then this is a shot at the bottom and top. The other side, we have two photos of Gohan. And then at the back, of course, we have the figure in different poses. So no leaflet inside, but we do have the full instructions to put on the accessories on the side. And here is the Super Saiyan Son Gohan inside this packaging. So here is a first look at the Super Saiyan Son Gohan taken out of his packaging. So the real classic look of Teen Gohan in the Cell games. So my first impressions, I guess no real surprises here in terms of the way it's been built, the way it's been sculpted. It's a good paint, and no doubt this is one to have in your collection. And if you're looking to compare it to the very first Teen Gohan that we got, there is no comparison. This is the more modern day updated version to have. Now, there are arguments whether this is the definitive look of Teen Gohan. Certainly not. You do need a Super Saiyan 2 to go with that. So you're probably going to have to either wait for a new updated version or just go for one of the previous releases. But either way, this is something you should have in your collection, the early parts of Gohan. And I guess with all the Dragon Ball characters, you're not going to have a definitive look without picking up at least 2 to 3 versions, because there's just so many different forms of them that you're not going to get them all in one. So in terms of the way it's being built, the attire and the look of it, it's no real kind of surprising. Everything they have done before. It's just something that's going to be a bit better now since they're so used to making these Dragon Ball figures. One thing I would say is the hairstyle. It's good, but they could have gone for something like an off-white color. Something a bit different to the other ones, because in the early parts of kind of Teen Gohan, he does have kind of more of a pale hair color. But I guess I'm not complaining too much with this one. This is the in-battle look, which is actually pretty good. In terms of the face sculpt, it is standard. It is kind of like a ready to fight mode look. There is a few head sculpts included, which we will take a look later on, of course. But this one is not perfect, but it's okay. I think I'm happy with it. And it's actually a pretty decent look. And then for the rest, of course, the attire is something that we're kind of used to now. They've done so many different versions of Gohan, Goku, very similar in the way they've built these. So this is the look on the back, which is actually okay. And then the rest of the body with the shoes. Yeah, just a pretty cool look to have. And one of the main new features in this figure is, of course, the cape, the Piccolo's one. So this time they've gone for like a soft cloth for the bottom half. And then the top half is the usual standard hard plastic. I'm not sure over time if this will wear out or get dirty, but it is something that they've gone for the better movement. And it's very simple. You just place it on top after you remove the head sculpt. I'm not sure if it would have worked if they'd gone for like a soft cloth for this part as well. I think that wouldn't look good, but they've just gone for it for the back, which I think does work, and I think it will certainly be useful for those power up kind of moves. And when he's flying in the air, you're going to get that wind effect. So let's first take a look at the alternative hands. So the one right out of the packaging, we have the closed fists. So for the first set of alternative hands, we have a set of open palms. We also get a second set of open palms, this time with the wide hands. And we also get a set of grappler hands. And for the fifth set of hands, we have ones for the Kamehameha pose. And now let's take a look at the different faceplates. So the first one out of the packaging is the standard ready to fight pose. For the alternative faceplate, we have another focused look with a slightly more bigger eyes. And they've also included one with the angry face look with the gritted teeth showing. And they've also included a concerned expression with the marks to the forehead and face to give him that kind of losing battle look. And there's also a fifth faceplate included, which is already placed onto the alternative head sculpt that's included. So I'm going to switch it up now. So obviously it's not the Super Saiyan 2 hairstyle, but we do have a more wind blowing effect. And this faceplate is obviously the full power angry look of Gohan. And this one you can also interchange the faceplates, so there's 5 in total with 2 different hairstyles, meaning you do get a total of 10 different looks. And here is a look at all the other different faceplates on the alternative head sculpt, so the 4 other faceplates on the flowy hair, as well as the full angry expression on the standard hairstyle. So now let's test out the articulation, so the movement of the Gohan. And of course, for a slightly smaller size figure, it's never that straightforward. So let's start off with the head sculpt. So you can rotate it left and right, no problems, very smooth 360 spin. And you can also move it left and right, and then downwards this much and upwards this much. So it's pretty smooth for the head sculpt. And then for the arms, we have good rotation side to side. It does create a slight gap when you move the arms, but it's fine with me. You can move it forwards, of course, backwards, and then there's upwards motion, and then we can also move it outwards. It's not the best presentation here, but it does do the job. And then we have the inwards look, and then of course there's a full rotation on the arm as well as the biceps, and then we also have a good bend. And then for the hands, of course, there's rotation and there's also a hinge there. And then for the body, it is kind of just one piece. I noticed that it does have a rubber material for the clothes, so I'm not sure if that makes any changes, but you can see it's a separate piece. So you can move it left and right, no problems, kind of like a waist rotation, which moves with the belt. And then you can move it side to side, and then forwards crunch, and then backwards this much. It does kind of create a gap as well, but you got to get it in the right place. And then for the legs, they stretch side to side, no problems. Pretty smooth in terms of the kicks. Forwards, backwards, good rotation. And then there's the full knee bend. There's also rotation on the foot. And then we also have a toe hinge, and of course side to side and forwards and downwards. So articulation is pretty standard, and it's actually pretty good for such a small size figure. So now for the size comparison, starting off with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z line with a Super Saiyan Goku and Piccolo. Next to the SH Figuarts Krillin as well as Chaozu. Here it is standing next to an SH Figuarts Tien and Yamcha. And here it is next to a Marvel Legends Spider-Man and Jada Toys Ryu. And here it is standing next to a Mafex Batman and Superman. And please excuse me for no comparisons with any of the previous Teen Gohans or Cell figures, as honestly I don't have any in the collection right now, but hopefully sometime in the near future they will be reissuing updates for a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as well as a Perfect Cell. So now for my final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Gohan, the fighter who surpassed Goku. This is a nice update to a previous Gohan we had with this new sculpt, new look, new cape. It is a general release, which is great as this is a standard look of Teen Gohan that everyone wants in their collection. We have the different facial expressions with a total of 5 different ones, and it's great they are interchangeable with both different head sculpts, so a total of 10 different looks. There's also a good range of alternative hands for all those fighting poses, and of course the cape, the new feature, which I think works as a soft goods as it does blend well with the front collar. The only thing I'll say is they could have maybe included a more innocent friendly face sculpt as well, which fits in line with the early parts of the Cell saga, although I'm not complaining with the ones included. And I did mention maybe the off-white hair color instead of the yellow one, since we've seen this all the time. Although I think people would be complaining more if that was to happen. And of course, no Super Saiyan 2 head sculpt, which would have made this the ultimate Gohan figure to square off with Cell. But I do like the alternative one included. And no effects were given either, but it's expected since it's not an exclusive release. But we'll all know how this works. You do need maybe 2 to 3 Gohans for all those different looks. So overall, I'm still going to give this an 8 out of 10, as you are getting what's expected, a standard Teen Gohan for the early parts of the Cell saga. Check out my other Dragon Ball reviews with the links in the description below, as well as stay tuned to more reviews, news and collections. Thanks for watching.